Hello guys, this will be a short video on how to play Visionshaper. How you play Visionshaper is different from other oaths. You have to play around your clone and it requires good synergy. The first tech I want to talk about is swapping with your clone while using a crit or a mantra. This is the bread and butter of Visionshaper and is probably how you're going to get most of your damage. Now, you can only swap at the beginning of a crit or a mantra or it won't work. You also can't swap where your clone is using a crit or a mantra. The best times to swap with your clone is while your opponent is attacking your clone or when they get distracted by something. The next thing I want to talk about is protecting your clone. So say your opponent is using a mantra but it's not close to you, you can use your clone to parry it and stop the mantra, unless your clone lives longer and it confuses your opponent. Another thing you could do is using your clone to protect yourself. When you use illusionary servants you gain about a second of iframes, and if your opponent is hitting you during that time, it will instead hit the clone, and you can also swap places with your clone and avoid damage and punish them for using a move on it. The next thing I want to talk about is mirror illusion. Mirror illusion is very important. It does about 30 oath damage, copies your opponent, and it knocks back, granting you time to recover. You can also use it offensively by hitting them with it and getting a true hit. Another tech is to abuse your clone's running attack. Clones have a delayed running attack, so if you miss your running attack, your opponent's iframes won't be active, and your clone will hit their block or hit them, which will put them in shaky block, and it will guarantee you a free hit. The last thing I want to talk about is your weapon choice and the armor you should wear. The weapons you want to use are weapons with special criticals like Peacekeys, Rail Blade, and Curse Cleave. These will elevate your clones and make them more of a threat, and you should also be using the occultist armor. It gives you a talent called Life Leech, which every time your servant does damage to an opponent, you get 1 to 2% healing. It works on all damage types, and even works on chip damage. Thank you for watching.